a second.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like you're back.
Okay. Give it a minute.
Hmm?
So we'll give it a few minutes before we.
Okay.
Give it a few more minutes. Ooh, this is the.
Let's see here. Go back to YouTube. All right.
I'm hungry. Bless you.
What?
Is it back on?
Yeah, it's you're streaming right now.
Okay. There in a second, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the pork and egg dish is served with some other veggies, like a boiled cabbage, and it has lemon or lime in it. But I did not get that, so. Right. Oops. So where were we on the Can we go back like a minute?
A minute, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can go back a minute. Okay. Oops.
Power dynamic oftentimes can be put in situations where they can't get out.
So here's a problem. You said oftentimes. That is your personal experience.
It's not my personal experience. It's, all of my relationships have ended amicably, and
That's your personal perspective. It might not be your experience, but for some reason you think that women are in danger if they let go of their independence.
respect all of my exes. I've never been abused, thank God. I've never had any negative situation like that where I relied on someone. Never.
So let me tell you why this is your personal experience. Because when it comes to divorce,
I've never relied on someone.
This is probably the
Sorry, I'm showing them the dish. That I
yeah, that's the tikka. This is probably the same kind of person that would say, like, you know, if something was wrong, she wouldn't speak up about it. She's like, no, everything's fine. I'm fine.
Be passive aggressive, take it out on you.
Yeah.
What's wrong? Why are you bothered? I'm fine. Everything is fine.
Right.
Stomps off, slams the door.
Right. Yeah. That's confusing. It's like, would it kill her to be up front, you know? To really kind of discuss things?
You know why?
Because
She's scared.
Yeah.
This comes from a person that is scared.
she has to be a strong, independent woman.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't need a man.
According to her, a strong, independent woman is just fine, and nothing a man does is going to bother her because she's strong.
If you can look it up right now, we have all the data. Women divorce men at higher rates than men divorce women. 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women. We have Google right now. We can go ahead and pull it up. So the reality of women being left by men is a misnomer. It is feminine mythology.
I'm not talking about. My concern is not being left by a man. My concern is jumping head on into a relationship where I'm feeling like I'm being supported and helped.
You are very afraid of being left with by a man. Trust me. Simply by stating that you are not, you are very afraid of being left by a man. This is why you will not get into a relationship. And you are claiming that you're independent and strong.
This is where the vagueness comes from, because she says that she doesn't want to be helped or supported, because in doing that, she feels like she has to give something up. And if something were to happen, then she's saying that she's afraid that she'll be left with nothing.
Very
So,
good point.
that is ultimately that is a fear of her being left.
She's afraid of abandonment.
Mm-hmm.
Fear of abandonment.
Eventually, losing my independence because I'm relying on him. I don't need to work if
But what
somebody's
does,
paying my
what does
rent.
that mean?
Why do you think that you're going to lose your independence by relying on someone? Who have you been in relationships with? Who's telling you this stuff? I mean, where is this coming from? If you're saying that it's not from experience, this woman.
Yeah, she said she's never had anybody leave her, abuse her, any of that. So, where's this fear coming from?
Mm-hmm.
I'm explaining. Wait, Alan. What did you say a second ago?
What I said is that
She's flustered.
women are not living men. Your fear, you literally said the fear.
Oh, okay. I remember what I was talking about. Okay, my fear isn't that I won't be able to. My fear isn't that my man will leave me. My fear is that I won't be able to leave because I'll be put in a situation where I can't leave.
Whoa,
Okay.
Whoa.
She's afraid that she won't be able to leave? So she's going into the relationship already having it set in her mind, I'm going to leave this guy if I don't like what I see.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of way is that to go into a relationship? That means, you know what that tells me? That tells me that she is not willing to fight for the relationship. She's not willing to give as much as the man in the relationship. So when things get hard, it's fight or flight, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the fighting. She's going to be flying. She's going to be hightailing it out of there.
She's expecting the man to do everything. And the minute he screws up, she's looking to exit quickly. Hold on, guys. Lemon bars are ready. Yeah. The second set. I don't know if I showed you guys this one. This was the other set of lemon bars. I've been making doubles.
Oh, man.
Right? You want one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me knife. Okay. Let's play that.
So that fear is based upon a worst case scenario. You're living your life on a worst case scenario.
Yep.
If you take that energy into business, you'll never be successful.
But,
Yep.
but relationships.
Let me finish. If you take that energy into finances, you'll never have any money. If you take that energy into friendship, you'll never have any friends. So what happens is that if you're living your life based upon a scenario that a fearful thing can happen, that's on you. But the wise thing to be is to be like, okay, that's a possibility. So how can I, as a woman, find the right kind of man who will support me and help me not make that happen? There's no way possible you're gonna find a guy where 100% of the time he will never do anything wrong.
Yep.
Life is a risk. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Number one, I do think that being a woman in the world, you do have to live not in fear. Maybe fear is the wrong word to use, but you do have to be very, very conscious and cautious of all the dangers around you. And relationships can turn dangerous at a certain point.
Okay,
That's
pause.
number one. I'm not.
She just continues to live in a place of fear. And I will apologize because I overbaked this crust.
Let me try the. Let me try to see, because
And-
maybe it being well done like that might taste good.
Yeah,
Let me see. It's not burnt.
it's not burnt.
No.
It's just a little over well done.
No, it's like golden brown. It's
Oh,
nice.
yeah,
It's
good.
nice.
Okay.
But anyways, as you were saying.
Sorry. This is what the lemon bars look like, guys, because I know these guys will want to see.
Oh, I can hold it up for them.
Yeah, actually, I can hold this one. This is what the keto lemon bar looks like.
Oh, they're great.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Good job, babe. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Glad you like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go on. What are we listening to? We are listening to a podcast about what's the title? Why girls continually fail to understand their roles. All right.
Saying I'm living out of fear. Not at all. Every relationship that I've
What
been
does
in.
that mean,
no,
though? You
girl.
just said relationship.
Everything you say is about fear. See, she's in total denial.
Mm-hmm.
She is lying to herself. She doesn't even know what she's talking about. Everything that's coming out of this girl's mouth is speaking about fear, danger of being in a relationship, danger of, I don't want to rely on someone and have someone help me because then I lose my independence. She even said she's never even been in a relationship where she's had to rely on someone. So then how do you know whether or not you're going to lose your independence?
Right. She hasn't experienced that yet. She doesn't know. She's only going by what she's been told.
She's only going by what she's been told. She's either been raised by a single mom, single parent, or she's getting together with her friends and reading way too many books and things, and they're probably all sitting together commensurating and talking about men have done this to me and men have done that to me, and oh man, don't you ever rely on a man, girl.
Oh, this is all done through social media. It's all done through periodicals where, like some of these fashion or feminist periodicals, where they're getting this information from. Probably
Could be. I don't know. 17 magazine. I could be wrong. Cosmopolitan magazine. I could be wrong.
Oh man, I can guarantee you they're getting some of this information from some sources like that.
Yeah. No. We were cooking today, guys. Lemon bars. Sorry, it looks like it's only 14 minutes of the stream, but I've been on for over 5 hours now. All right, let's play some more.
Can turn dangerous at a certain point. You know what's very fascinating about this, what you just shared? What do you mean by dangerous? You mean domestic violence?
Also,
Okay, so let's talk about domestic violence. You know what's fascinating? Do you know domestic violence in lesbian couples are the highest of all couples?
I mean, whether it's lesbians or straights or anything, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Being
so-
in a relationship where you're relying 100%, where you're codependent, is unhealthy, in my opinion.
Codependent.
Respectfully.
See, this is what happens when you create straw mans.
How about even throughout the relationship, you are 40%, 60%. 70%, 30%,
Mm-hmm.
50%, 50%, 10%, 90%. How about just that? Because no relationship is ever perfectly 50-50.
Yeah.
Okay? There is going to be, depending on what's going on in one person's life or both people's lives, or multiple people if you're polyamorous,
That gets a little bit more complicated.
the percentages could be very different. She's already talking about 100%. Who said anything about 100%? To me, basically, she's basically saying she's not willing to contribute anything. And the man should be doing 100%, and she's not even willing. Where is she? No, she's not even talking about that.
She probably has it in her mind that, oh, I'm a catch, so he should be lucky he has me.
Mm-hmm.
But when she gets older and she still keeps this mindset, it's gonna completely turn opposite, unless she just becomes completely bitter, jaded, and angry.
I have a feeling she's going to be, if she doesn't get some life experience and change and open up her perspective and have some experiences with those perspectives, she is going to be a bitter, jaded person. And she's probably going to go through life thinking something about why men didn't want her.
Right.
She's such a good catch. She's completely independent.
Mm-hmm.
She makes her own money. She has her own place.
Right.
She's never had to rely on a man.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't a man want her?
Because they don't need that.
Men want to be needed and wanted.
What she's providing is what she thinks is actually what women want.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what men want.
Mm-hmm.
What men want is, like I said, someone to be there for them to help support them, outside of men working, providing, all that. There's got to be a counterbalance. There's got to be, like I said, a yin to a yang.
You guys don't want competition at the end of the day. You don't want to come home to competition.
Can you imagine coming home and after a long day of work and it's like, well, I did dishes yesterday. Can you do dishes today? It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's like I've already busted my ass throughout the day, and now you want me to come home and do all this shit? It's like, how's that fair? How's that fair?
And it's not to say that it's fair that a woman should be around doing the dishes. See how I said that the same person calls now twice instead of just once?
Interesting. There it is, third time. Might as well put it on silent.
Yeah, I will. Let me do that right now. That's interesting, right?
Yeah. But anyways.
There's nothing wrong with, and it's not to say that the woman has to have a role to be at home and just do dishes and, take care of the family or anything like that. Women
Yeah.
do more than that. We know that.
Yeah, of course.
And the man, of course, can contribute and help.
And I do.
And I'm just talking about in general.
Yeah. Once in a while, say you got your hands busy with something, I'll help you out, right?
Yeah, it's a reciprocating relationship is the point. But she's so afraid to even give a little. She won't even give a little. It's just like only the man is supposed to give. That's it.
All or nothing.
Or else she loses her independence. Okay.
When you make an extreme, so on one end of the extreme is codependency, where I have nothing without you. Another end of the extreme is where you're probably at, independency. I am without you. But the healthy medium is interdependency, is that I could exist without you, but I not only want you,
Hold on, guys.
but I need you.
So can I say,
Can we talk about this later? We're in the middle of something.
Let me
What is
finish.
it? What?
He
Because
wants the
I'll be
Hulu
honest.
password.
Oh.
Is
I
it
think
your?
I have it, right?
Yeah, I think it's your Hulu account.
Let me type it to you and see if this works. combination of 4 different passwords that may or may not work.
Well, that's great. It's okay though.
Oh, really? Is it okay? Hold on, guys.
Why do you have 4 different passwords?
You should have multiple passwords.
No, I mean for Hulu. Why do you have so many for Hulu?
I don't know which one of these will work.
They're probably passwords
It's
to
one
other
of these.
things.
I'm just saying it's one of these. It's not like I have 4 passwords to Hulu. I'm just saying it's one of these.
Not a 2-step process, not a 3-step process, but 4.
So use one of these and see if they work. And then let me know if you still can't get in. Okay.
With you right now, the energy that you're on is masculine energy.
Oh God, no.
You know why? Because
Oh, no.
you're comfortable. And this is the problem. You're comfortable with having to usurp your way. So a lot of times, there's no when there's a relationship. When women say they want equality, there's no equality. There's no 2 kings in one castle. There's no 2 presidents in one country. There's no 2 CEOs in one company. There's always a leader and somebody submits to your leadership. You want to be in charge.
I don't. I
Pause.
absolutely don't. I will say my dating
I'm
style.
disagreeing.
I love a man who will support me, lift me up, help me. But at
Wait
the
a
same
minute.
time,
Wait a minute. Didn't you just contradict yourself earlier and said if I let someone help me and I rely on him, then I'm afraid of giving up my independence. And now she's
She-
saying that she wants a man to help her and lift her up.
She she said earlier, she says, I'm afraid of having a guy support me and provide for me. It's like, and now she's saying, I want a guy to support me. Which is it?
She doesn't know what she's talking about. This is why I'm saying she does not know what she's talking about. Women that know are clear about this. There is no mixed messages. This woman doesn't know what she's talking about because she lacks experience and she's naive.
She doesn't even know what she wants.
She doesn't.
Let's just be
She
real
doesn't have
here.
enough experience to be talking on this.
She's still, I'm sure she's still figuring herself out, and and she's probably expecting the guy to do it for her.
Yep.
I'm not going to relinquish all of my power.
I understand it, but what I'm saying is that what you're communicating is an idea which you feel like you represent. But I'm telling you right now, from even communicating with you, from this conversation, talk to hundreds of women, the energy that you have is very masculine energy. You can say all that you want, but the idea is you want somebody to join your team. You want somebody to join your program. You want someone to follow and
I
support
want to join
you.
someone's team just the same. I think.
No,
I
you
think
don't.
That's not how it works.
reciprocated.
That's not how it works. When 2 companies
You do
merge,
not,
one company
girl.
joins one company. When 2 kingdoms merge, one king joins one kingdom.
And that's fine. But I'm not going to put my personal well-being in jeopardy.
But
Which is
that-
healthy,
that's
I
an
think, is
extreme.
healthy.
She keeps talking about herself being in danger somehow. And this everything she talks about is all about fear. That's all. She just keeps talking about fear.
She's looking at the man as someone that can and will eventually just slight her. She's not looking at him as a person that, this is a man that I could see myself with, that could provide me for with these things, and be there to and I can provide for him these things. It's just the guy could abuse me. The guy could leave me. But, I'm gonna lose my independence.
Yep. She has a lack of experience. She's naive. She's been raised or surrounded by people that tell her to be independent and to be afraid of men and not to rely on men. Don't let a man help you.
Yeah. She's going into these relationships not even knowing anything about men.
I'm not even sure. I mean, the way she's talking, it's like, how many relationships could you have possibly been in? Because you don't sound like a very experienced person in relationships, which you don't have to be in order to be on here. But it just sounds like you're acting like you have all this experience when
it's not.
And you sound like you don't.
It's not even that. She just doesn't understand men.
Right.
She's going into these relationships with this idea of what men are, and are completely false.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not completely. There are exceptions to the rule, but she is going into these relationships thinking, well, the man's going to do this, and I don't need to do this. I need to do this. I need to work on myself. It's all about her.
Yeah.
It's all about her.
This is what I was talking about earlier about coming down. We're in a narcissistic society. Not one time has she mentioned anything about anything positive in a relationship, number one. And number two, what she would contribute and reciprocate in a relationship. She is always talking about danger, not wanting help, not relying on someone. It always comes down to she's going to walk away, without her independence and fear of that. She's attempting to say that she's been in healthy relationships. I doubt it. I doubt that she's been in very many relationships. I doubt that what she's saying is even true. I don't think that this person has been is very experienced at all.
Honestly, in my opinion, this is just a dude with a vagina.
I agree.
Is it an extreme to
But
care about yourself?
No, you're making an extreme argument. You're saying that I'm putting my personal well-being in jeopardy. You're not. A lot of women who are in happy, healthy relationships, they're not putting their personal well-being in jeopardy. By being with a masculine man and submitting to them happily, they're actually putting their personal well-being at the forefront of their life, and they're benefiting from it, from that masculine man's lead. But in your situation, let me tell you what's going to happen. Unfortunately, you're going to have to find a feminine man who's going to have to follow you, who's going to have to be led by. And you know what happens? Of course you don't want that, because no woman does. But the number one problem is, though you don't want that, the man that you want won't want you.
Oh,
I've
yep. The
positions
man
in
that
any
you
relationship in my
want
life.
Okay.
is not going to want you. The man that you want is going to want a woman at the end of the day who's going to take care of him as much as he takes care of her. And he doesn't want competition.
Right.
He wants to be the man in the relationship. And he wants you to be the woman in the relationship. That's what he wants.
See, and the thing is that this woman is not letting the guy do what he is, what he instinctively knows to do.
Mm-hmm.
She's going against him. It's competition in the household, like you said, and yeah, when she gets older in age, the only men that will be available to her are the effeminate simps or cucks.
And I hope, that's very true.
Mhm.
Simps or cucks. And I hope that she still has her looks. Because if she don't got looks and she's not willing to contribute and reciprocate in the relationship, and she's not willing to be the feminine in the relationship most of the time, she will not have any successful relationships in what she thinks. Go ahead. And
It goes
and what she's looking for.
it goes beyond just looks at her age, because say a guy doesn't want to have kids early on in life, but later on down the road,
Yeah.
he's like, you know what? I'm in my 40s. I think I'm ready to have a kid. He's going to choose a woman that's going to be fertile, young, and able to produce children for him. So it goes beyond looks.
Especially if he has women. I mean, if he has money. If he has money, he's gonna have a little bit more to choose from than a woman at an older age, even with money. It's just not gonna, It's not going to translate in her favor.
Right.
Why are you so single right now?
What? Well, I didn't say I'm single.
Okay, so you're not single.
I mean, I'm seeing a person in my
So you're
life.
single?
No, you're lying. I can tell. That's
I don't.
you're
I don't
lying.
wanna
You're
share-
already lying. You can hear it in her voice. I'm sorry, but you
The
can.
pause. The pause gives it all.
She's not seeing anybody. She might be on Tinder and Bumble and some dating apps and communicating with someone, but she's not seeing anybody.
Oh, she's playing the field.
No, she probably isn't even playing the field.
She has men on the back burner, or not even really the back burner. She's just kind of cherry picking.
She thinks that she's dating by communicating with someone probably, but I doubt
Well,
that
she's-
she's got anybody even that she's even dating.
I think to better describe it is she's window shopping.
She's window shopping, and they're probably not all that interested in her.
Yeah. You know what? It could be out of her price range, her personal dating price range, and she may not even know it, because she's just seeing the merchandise. She's not seeing the price. She's not seeing what do I need to do to get this guy to get this man in my life.
Mm-hmm.
If she's already come to that, oh man, she's gonna have it worse when she gets older.
Yeah. I hope she gets something out of this, because if I was sitting down with that many men in a room and they're all saying the same thing, if she is not listening, or these other girls, they're girls, they look like they're 18. They're young women. If they aren't listening and if they're not getting anything out of this and they just go into it continuously resistant to what they are receiving and hearing from the men, it's downhill. It is downhill.
Mhm.
I hope they're learning something from it. It's
There's
sad.
There's a term for that. It's called she's hit the wall. She's hit the wall.
Mm.
And you know what's even scarier is some of these women / girls, young women that are hitting the wall earlier in life.
Ooh, how early?
Oh, I've seen it. I've heard. I haven't seen it, but I've heard women can have been hitting the wall in their 20s, mid 20s.
So when you say hitting the wall, what does that mean?
That could mean that they've just been used up by guys because willingly. Like, they've gone through so many men that it starts to affect them physically and mentally.
Like, why am I not with someone? Why am I not in a partnership?
Jaded, bitter, and eventually misandrous.
Okay.
Yeah. So when they got that in their mind, and that's all they and it's downhill from there.
Mm-hmm.
Downhill.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen it to where intersectional feminism has kind of started to take its toll on women these days.
Well, that's good. Hitting the wall in your mid-20s.
That is
Scary.
because usually that starts to happen after women have hit 30, because then their biological clock is like, oh shit, I need to find a guy. But by that time, it gets harder and harder for them.
Wow.
They're like, I don't have kids. I want to have kids. I feel like I'm missing out.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Personal details of my life, but I am in a very good place right now.
Let me be honest with you. You're doing what women try unfortunately do when they're in a social setting. You're using
You're generalizing, but go ahead.
Well, this is just commonality
Go ahead.
between men and
Go
women.
ahead.
What you're doing is you're using the English language to shape reality instead of to express reality. You see that you don't want people to look down upon you for being single. I'm not shaming you for being single. So therefore,
First of all-
let me finish. So therefore, you're trying to share, well, I'm not single, I may be single, da-da-da-da. You're single. So moving forward in this conversation, use English to express reality. And the reality of the matter is, yes, you are single. That's the truth.
Okay, can I ask something?
Go ahead.
I keep losing my train of thought. You're confused because you're talking at me, and then you keep telling me not to interrupt, and then my train of thought like loses me. So I do apologize. But why is it so important for people to strive to be in a relationship? My priority at the moment
Of course
is,
it is.
but let me just say, you preach this to men as well. You say, men, if you want a high value man, work on yourself, be better yourself. So I'm saying, my job right now in life is to work on myself, become a better version of myself.
I love it.
And eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to be with a person who will deserve that.
I love it.
That's all.
So
Will deserve that. Okay.
So they deserve it.
Well, you know, that's probably the first thing that I've actually heard her say in that makes any kind of sense. Like, okay, she's working on herself. Whatever she thinks working on herself is, which from this conversation sounds
Oh,
like
you're about to
it's not
find
going to go
out.
very deep.
You're about to
But-
find out.
But working on herself. And I'm glad. I mean, that's probably the most I've heard enlightened in what she's saying. Working on herself, although I don't think it goes very deep. But I'm glad that she actually says that probably that she can meet that is going to meet her where she is in life. We attract who we are.
Right.
So McSniper and I, we could have never had this relationship maybe 7 years ago, 10 years ago. We couldn't have been in each other's lives. We didn't have enough awareness. We didn't have enough love and compassion, empathy, maybe kindness.
Yeah.
We were probably very, very, very selfish people, you know, wanting to look out for ourselves. And you don't, sometimes in life, not always, there's a lot of young people that have all of that. But sometimes when you go through really hard experiences and a lot of relationships, like me, sometimes the only way to understand and accept people more is when you've been burned many times, like I have. And I've burned a lot of people as well. So, how do we set up the 89 video session? You can message me privately on that. Okay.
Yep. Go ahead.
my question to you: what are 3 things that you're working on today that's gonna make you desirable to the high value man that you want? What are those 3 things that you're working on today?
Social circles. I think that networking is very important.
Okay.
Another thing is I hope that I will be able to be successful in my life. And I mean it's pretty shallow, but also I think that looks are important, and I take care of myself.
Cool. So out of those 3 things that you mentioned, you said social circle, success, and looks. The only thing that really is relevant to a high value man is going to be the looks. So the unfortunate reality is that a lot of women such as yourself, they say, I'm working on myself to be more desirable to a man. But the things that you're working on, a man does not want. Imagine a man saying, okay, I'm working on myself to be more desirable to women. And you know what I'm doing? I'm learning how to wear fluorescent dresses. Is he doing something that'll make him more desirable to women?
There's probably a woman out there who's
Yeah,
fine with that.
it's easy to make that argument. Let's be realistic. Is he doing something that's making him more desirable to top tier women?
Probably not.
Yes.
And by the way, I'm not disagreeing with you on most of your points.
I know, of course
Yeah.
not. I know. So the
I just want to make that a point. Like
we understand. We understand. Don't worry about the comments. Just you and me talking right now.
that's fine. I'm not looking.
So the point I'm trying to make is that when women say I'm working on myself, a lot of times they're not working on themselves in a way that's going to make them more desirable to other men. So to the point of, yes, our podcast, we're telling men to do things that tangibly, same as Fresh and Fit, we're telling men to do things tangibly that make them more desirable to women. But unfortunately, what you're working on and what a lot of women work on are things that will not make you attractive to men.
Okay, so I will say, like, I don't think that my end goal is to be attractive to men. My end goal is to work on myself so that I have a higher value as a person in my life. I'm happier.
All right, now just like the video right now.
Yeah, I think that's what
You
it's
want to
gonna
know
be.
what my fear is?
So, your case in point on what she said, and he asked her, and she named the 3 things that she.
She just admitted at the end that she's not looking to find her attractive or make herself more attractive to men. She's more focused on herself. So, by that knowledge, she's not really going to be successful if that's what if she wants to, to be to attract the opposite sex.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to look at this and take it one more step, because I really dig deep, and my communication is going to be deeper than some people. So when she talks about she's hopefully going to be successful, success is defined to a lot of people through material ways, and that could be financial success, a thriving career, business, material success, driving the right car, owning the right house, living the right lifestyle, being able to travel. That can be success to some people. Okay, me personally, success, I have had that success. I've had that material financial success. Me now that is not success to me. And quite honestly, I think that you have helped me actually set up for success in a different way that I thought. And I'm just realizing it right now, because I have told you and shared with you in our relationships, friendships, family are the most important thing besides my health in my life. Okay? I have had material and financial success in 7 figures. Okay? And what ended up happening was I became very depressed. And I looked for a way out of there. And I did. I got a divorce, and that ended. The business, went to him. And so he took that over. I didn't want any part of it. And so it took many, 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 many years to finally gain the aspect of what is the most important thing to me. The most important thing to me is my relationships. And like I've said to you guys before, for most women, I'm not going to speak for most women, but for a lot of women, relationships are very important to us. For men, it's finances, status, how a man provides. Okay? But for a lot of women, relationships are very important. And so, where am I in my life now? I am not currently working. Okay? I am currently in a very loving, caring relationship that I'm very, very happy with. And I have my 2 boys here. Love having them here. Love all of us living together. And so, what has God in the universe, myself, that I co-created with my partner, McSniper, and my 2 boys, we've created success and set me up for success. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, what is important to me? Relationships. And here I have it. I don't have to have it. My relationships are not dependent on the amount of income that I bring in, because McSniper is the primary caregiver and breadwinner of the house. And so, what have I gotten? The universe has blessed me with what I have wanted. And now I am just saying this out loud and realizing my quality time with you guys, being able to spend time with you, bond, make meals, and that's my way of providing, nurturing, caring, and loving you guys, has been delivered. I did not realize until that just now. I have manifested my ultimate success with you guys supporting me in manifesting that.
Feels great, right?
Wow. So thank you. Wow. That's just a realization I just had. So that's amazing. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that video. Thank you for Fresh and Fit, for having such a wonderful podcast that we could listen to. You guys make sure that if you liked what you just heard with Fresh and Fit, go and subscribe to their YouTube channel and find out more about them and their podcasts. Thank you all for being here. Gosh, I know it says 45 minutes, guys, but I've been on now for over 5 hours today, cooking and doing all kinds of things and having wonderful discussion with McSniper here. Thank you. And wonderful discussion with you guys. So I think what I'm going to do is more cooking streams. The lemon bars, keto lemon bars that we made. And having more good discussions like this. I think this is a good start to how the new stream process, part of the new stream process will go, and we'll continue to think of more creative ways. But I really like these kinds of streams where I'm able to have discussions and listen to great podcasts like theirs.
Oh, it's felt more natural.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think.
So see you guys next time. Make sure your notifications are on so you can see when I'm on. Have a great night, everyone. Bye for now. Bye.
Later.